What's up, everybody? We are live again. So, what we are going to be discussing right now is the economy questions in paper 1. So, in this very particular junction, economy questions, we see that it was asked from a wide array of things. Okay, like if you look at geography, you could see that it was only map based questions, only something relating to current affairs. There was a pattern, but in this, it was pretty much they tried to cover most of the topics. Okay, they tried to really test the depth of your knowledge. They have tried to be very logical and factual at the same time, and you could see all of these being reflected in the questions. Right now, like we always say, this is not the time for a full 360-degree analysis and learning. What we are here to do in the exam like conditions, if you were to attend the exam in the real life situation, how should have been your thinking? What would be the correct statements? What would be the wrong statements? We're just going to look at that and go ahead as we go, right? So without much ado, let's look at the economy questions one by one. Okay, and we'll start looking at all the right answers so that you get an approximation as to what is your score, so that our main intention is that you start preparing for mains as soon as possible, and that will only happen once you get a full understanding of what your score is going to be, right? So let's start. Over here they are asking which of the statements is correct. Okay, and in this they are asking about money market and capital market. Okay, so money market, capital market. What is the regulatory authority of money market? It is RBI. Okay, it is very, very simple. Okay, it will be there in all the textbooks, all the notes, and every this thing. And when it comes to SEBI, SEBI is the regulatory authority of capital market. So this is also correct. Okay, so answer is A and B. Okay, so answer is C, right? It's a very easy question. Next, we'll go to the next question. When it comes to here, Niti Aayog, in collaboration with UNDP and Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative, which is also called OPHI, developed National Multidimensional Poverty Index. So this is the question. This first statement is absolutely correct, right? India's national MPI has how many indicators? It has 12 indicators. And global MPI has how many indicators? It has 10 indicators, right? So what KPSC has cleverly done, they've interchanged these numbers. So usually what happens, we keep remembering, it's a pictographic memory, right? We keep seeing that national MPI 10, 12. So we see that this 10 and 12 is there. We are likely to put a tick here. So this is what should not happen. This is the trap which the KPSC has laid for us. Anyways, so this statement is wrong. They are asking correct or incorrect. They are asking correct. So answer for this is A only. Okay. Next. After this, it's a question about deficit. Okay, very easy concept. There is no brainer. This is okay. There is nothing to very big concept. No big concept. Right, so they're telling revenue deficit is a fiscal deficit minus interest payment. Okay, we all know that that is primary deficit. It is not revenue deficit, right? So easily we can take this out. Okay, first statement is absolutely nonsensical. Okay, we can take this out. Revenue deficit. No, this is primary deficit. Okay, so primary deficit goes definitely this option. This option is not there, right? Fiscal deficit is the deficit, or is the difference between government's total expenditure and total receipts excluding borrowings. That is absolutely correct. Okay, fiscal deficit is nothing but budgetary deficit minus market borrowings, or you can even tell that the total expenditure, that is capital expenditure plus this revenue expenditure, minus revenue receipts and capital receipts minus interest payments, okay, or non-debt creating receipts, whatever you want to call it. In all these cases, it will only point out to this fact that the second statement is a correct statement. When the government spends more than it collects by the way of revenue, it is not incurring a budget surplus. It is incurring a budget budget deficit. Okay. Budget deficit is basically if I am getting 100 rupees as an income, but I'm spending 105 rupees. So what is happening? That 5 rupees is the deficit which is there. Okay, so this, if the government is receiving, let's say 100 crores, spending 105 crores, 5 crores or 5% rather is the deficit, right? So in this case, this also goes wrong. Which are correct or incorrect? They're asking correct. So statement 1 is the correct answer. Okay. Next, about MSP. Okay, we all know MSP. Okay, the recommendations are given by CACP, and then this cost input is done by CACP. Recommendations are given by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Okay, so we know all of that, right? So here they are basically asking, government fixes MSP, correct. For all the agricultural crops, no. Okay, there are some notified crops. There is a notification. In that notification, there is a list of crops. Okay, about 22 plus 1 crop, so total 23 crops. So with sugarcane also, if you add it. So only those crops you will get one minimum support price from the government to the farmers. They tell that if you grow this, if nobody is purchasing in the market, you don't worry. We will give you one minimum price and we will purchase it, right? It is creating a assurance. Many times we see that these kind of subsidies, whatever the government is giving, it goes into the amber box of WTO also, right? So anyways, they are telling that this is all crops is there. All is an extreme statement. All is an extreme word. So in this case, if A goes away, automatically we get B and C. There is no need for reading also, but nevertheless we will read, right? Why? To confirm whether our thinking is correct. While recommending MSP, CACP considers domestic and international price as one of the important factors. Yeah, see, CACP, it considers a lot of things. In that, domestic and international prices is also one of the important things, because it should see that the spillover effect does not lead to any countervailing effect. Okay, countervailing means that subsidies which are given, okay, it should not affect the international market, and that's very important. So MSP, when they are calculating CACP, it does take into affect the domestic and international prices. Okay, so this is correct. MSP for Toria and dehusked is fixed based on MSP of rapeseed and mustard. Okay, see, everything is cause and effect in this world. Based on an input, you will determine what is the output, right? So based on the inputs over here, you are determining the outputs over here. So answer is B and C. Nothing to be worried about or overthink. Nothing is there like that. Next. Okay. So if we look at this, tax efforts were introduced in 10th Finance Commission. Now you guys only tell me, 15th Finance Commission we would have studied, 14th Finance Commission, okay fine, we might have studied. Do you think we would have really studied 10th Finance Commission? That means the first Finance Commission, everything do they expect us to study? No, but can it be solved otherwise also? Okay, we'll try to have a look at that. Okay, next one, the overall weightage of need-based parameters of 15th Finance Commission was less than 14th Finance Commission. Okay, so first of all, we have to understand there is something called as need-based parameters. There is something called as equity and efficiency-based parameters. This equity, efficiency, these kind of parameters are mainly for the states which don't have so much of income. Okay, and when they don't have so much of income, you have to try to make sure that somehow you take it from the states who have a lot and give it to the states who don't have. Okay, but anyways, this is a very small principle. It cannot override the principle of need-based parameters. I'm telling you so much about need-based parameters. Let me tell you a little bit about what exactly is need-based parameters. So, if we look at this, income distance is a need-based parameter. Okay, then demographic performance, this is a need-based parameter. Area, this is a need-based parameter. Okay, population, this is a need-based parameter. So these are all need-based parameters, that is based on how much ever is needed for a particular state, you are going to devolve funds from the net divisible pool of taxes from the central fund, right? So this is the 14th Finance Commission. Then you have 15th Finance Commission. Okay, so 14th Finance Commission, okay, we are right now, what have they asked? They have told that the overall weightage in 15th Finance Commission is less than 14th Finance Commission, they are asking. This is a factual thing, right? So what is the income distance? Income distance in 14th Finance Commission was 50%. In 15th Finance Commission, this was 45%. Okay. Next one, when you come to the population consensus, that was 17.5%. Okay. When you come to area in 14th Finance Commission, that is 15%. Then when it comes to demographic change or demographic performance, that is another 10%. Overall, if you look at it, it is 92.5%. Another 7.5% is forest and ecology. That is not a need-based parameter, right? Then when it comes to 15th Finance Commission, we see that this is 45%. Okay. Then this demographic performance is 12.5%. Okay. So you see that the weightage is increased over here. Then you see area is 15%. Okay. And population is again 15%. So overall, okay, you are seeing 45, 60, 75, about some 87.5%. So this is the thing. And when you look at this, which one is more, 14th or 15th? Okay, 14th is more, right? So they are telling that the overall weightage in 15th Finance Commission was less than 14th Finance Commission. This is absolutely correct. Okay, so we look at B, B and B. Okay, forest cover comes under fiscal disability principle. This is wrong. It does not come as a fiscal disability principle. It is not a disability, it is an ability, meaning to say that you will get more money. Okay. Over the years, there has been a shift from need-based parameters to efficiency, where here only there is 92%, right? Okay. So you see that more and more efficiency is being asked over here. Okay. So in this case, we see that the answer for this is A and B, right? A and B is the answer. Tax efforts was introduced in 10th Finance Commission. This is correct. This is correct. This and this becomes wrong. So automatically we can verify that A is also correct. Okay. So answer is A and B, right? Next one, we are talking about deficit financing. Okay, deficit financing, I've already told you what is deficit financing. Nothing, just that you are getting 100 rupees, you are spending 105 rupees. 5 rupees is that deficit financing. Okay, so whenever you are spending more, then does it create an inflationary situation or deflationary situation? Okay, it does not create deflationary situation. This is absolute nonsense. Okay, so it is inflationary in nature. So in this case, D is definitely not there, right? So it has to be between this or this, right? Now, after this, it causes a current account surplus, they're telling. Whenever there is a deficit financing, obviously most of the times, usually there will be a current account deficit. Okay, in this case, B also goes wrong. Okay, so this, when you rule out B, that it is a current account deficit which happens over here, then automatically what is going to happen? Here, B is going to go away, which automatically rules out C also. Deficit financing decreases the real wage in the economy. Yes, okay, this happens. Answer for this is A, right? Okay, so this is the 51st question. Next one, consider the different types of goods and related examples given in list 1 and list 2 respectively. Okay, fine. Let's have a look. Okay, so when we look at this, okay, so they're telling pure public goods. Pure public goods, okay, street lighting, public sanitation, these are examples for pure public goods, meaning to say it is freely accessible for everybody. It is the right of everybody to use it. Okay. Next, mixed goods, quasi public goods. These are elementary education, primary healthcare. Okay, this comes over here. So this is not correctly matched, because why is this a mixed good? Meaning to say that public and private, both of them will use. Okay, you will have a government school also, and you will have a private school also. You will have a government hospital also, you will have private hospital also, right? So in all of this, these are mixed goods, which means they are quasi public goods. If you want, you can opt for a government hospital, which is your right, but you have a choice to opt for a private hospital also, right? Pure private goods, again, it is this option. Both of them are interchanged. Food, clothing, automobiles, these comes under pure private goods. Okay. Next is merit goods. So when you talk about merit goods, okay, it is not toll parks, private parks. Okay, so this does not come in this merit goods. So in this case, the answer is going to be only one. Okay. Merit goods means they are not this parks, private parks, it does not come. It is something which the government only has created, right? Okay. Next, the coexistence of budget deficit and trade deficit is the problem of twin deficit. Okay, so twin deficit is a very interesting concept. Okay, that means that there will be two types of deficit. On the traditional sense, we see that fiscal deficit and current account deficit. This is the problem of twin deficit. This is the first one. But also there can be another problem also. Okay, you can see that this can also be there. Okay, this can also be there. And we see that, this twin deficit, it is also budget deficit and trade deficit. Okay. So conventionally, a lot of us might know this fiscal deficit and current account deficit. But also, if you just Google it once, you will find out that this budgetary deficit and trade deficit is also a problem of trade, twin deficit. Wherever budgetary deficit is there, you will see that there is a trade deficit also. That is also called as this thing. So what would be the answer? Answer would be A and B, right? Next one. Consider the following about money markets. Which of them are considered as money markets, right? So here they have not given instruments of money market or anything. So I would say that it's a little ambiguity. It creates little ambiguity in the question. But nevertheless, if they are just asking which of them are related to money market, then repurchase auction is also related. Treasury bill market is related, and Discount and Finance House of India, this is also a money market, a body. Satellite dealers were there, but later it was discontinued, right? So this goes away. Answer is A, B, C, right? Next one is about GDP deflator. See, usually for measuring inflation, there are different types of, different types of indexes. There is something called consumer price index. There is something called wholesale price index. But there is a problem for all of this. The CPI, WPI, everything. It only takes into effect a limited basket of goods. Okay, this limited basket of goods. It does not take into effect all of the goods. Now, because of this, what happens is that there is it does not give a holistic view of all of the products, from a hairpin to an aeroplane. Everything is not calculated. Okay, which is why we have a GDP deflator. GDP deflator is a method for measuring the inflation. Okay, so but the only problem is there is a lag. There is almost 3 months, 6 months, almost sometimes 1 year also. There is a lag in when you get the data, right? So this one, GDP deflator, is a measure of inflation. This is absolutely correct. It is the ratio of GDP at current prices to GDP at constant prices. So what this means, ratio of GDP at current prices, is nothing but, There is nothing but nominal GDP. GDP at constant prices means that is nothing but real GDP. So the definition of GDP deflator is also nominal GDP divided by real GDP into 100. So in that sense, second statement makes it absolutely correct. So second statement is correct. Nominal GDP is equal to real GDP in the base year. Okay. So this is also correct itself. GDP deflator is used to convert nominal variables into real variables. That is one of the function of GDP deflator. When you have studied GDP deflator correctly, you will usually know this. So this is also correct. So the answer for this is all of the above, right? Okay. Next one. In India's federal finance system, cess and surcharges are not shared between the central and state governments. So usually there are so many cess, right? Okay, Krishi Kalyan cess, coal cess, education cess, that cess, this cess. Okay, so many cesses they keep levying. All of this goes where? Do you think it is shared between central and state government? No, central government directly takes it and they use it only for that particular purpose. That is the speciality of cess. Same thing with surcharge also. They charge a little bit extra, right? So it is not shared between central and state government. Absolutely correct. Okay, this first statement is correct. Next, Articles 270 and 271 of the Indian Constitution exclude the cess levied for specific purposes and the surcharge for in the divisible pool of taxes. This is also correct. Okay. But now, does this explain this? This is the real this thing. Okay, it does. If you just add because here, okay, and just read this, you will see that it does make absolute sense. In which case, answer will be A. Okay, both statements are correct, and the statement 2, the reasoning explains the assertion, right? Next, which of the following statements are incorrect? They are asking. Okay, nothing, very easy question only. They are telling that the yield of the bond is inversely related to its price, 100%. We know that interest rate, how much you are getting, and bond price, that is inversely proportional. Bond yield and bond price is also inversely proportional, right? So first statement is absolutely correct. Liquidity adjustment facility is an important monetary tool of RBI. This is also correct. Okay, liquidity adjustment facility, what do we mainly have here? We have repo rate, then we have reverse repo rate, then we have marginal standing facility. All of these are certain facilities to adjust the liquidity. These are all quantitative tools or indirect tools of the RBI, meaning to say that they will ask the banks to do this, do this, do this. But the banks, even though they are mandated, they might do it or they might not do it. That's why we call them as indirect tools or quantitative tools. So under quantitative tools, there is a tool called liquidity adjustment facility. Under liquidity adjustment facility, you have repo rate, reverse repo rate, and marginal standing facility. Anyways, the second statement though is true, right? So third one, treasury bills or T-bills are capital market. We have already studied in the same question paper that it's money market. They are long term. No, T-bills have this maturity of less than 1 year. The tenor premiums, it could be 364 days, it could be 182 days. Okay, it goes on in this particular fashion. Okay, it goes lesser than 1 year. So they are short-term instruments. Again, this is also wrong. This is also wrong. Issued by Government of India. That is fine. But anyways, this statement is wrong. So they are asking incorrectly matched. Okay. So incorrectly matched is one statement. So that is answer A. Okay. With this, we have finished all of the questions of economy. I hope you found this simple and useful. Okay, and you are one step closer to ascertaining how much approximately you would have got. See, I'll tell you something. These explanation videos are done in an extremely short time frame from when the exam gives its results. Okay, our attempt is for you to get an approximation as to what your score would be. Some of the questions might turn out wrong. Some of the questions, there might be some inaccuracy. Okay, we are not asserting or we are not telling that what we are giving is 100%. But it will be to a very large extent correct. So you can bank on us, okay, see if you are getting or just cross check your answers. then you can start preparing for your mains. Okay, that is the whole objective here, and I hope that I have helped you achieve this objective to whatever limited extent I find possible. So with this, we are done with economy. Okay, we will meet again in yet another part of discussion of paper 1. Until then, keep watching, stay tuned. Thank you and have a nice day. Leave a thumbs up.
See you.